Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 224 of Report This Post, the podcast about bad posts and bad people. My name is Geiger, and that is Christian.
You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
And we're your hosts with the post. Every week, Christian, myself, or a listener select a different topic and then find horrible posts for your listening pleasure. And this week's topic, as chosen by a listener named Larry J., is gambling.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
The wonderful addiction that all of our uncles have. Well, one of many addictions that uncles tend to have, but it's a very uncle thing to do, is to be addicted to gambling. Or a stepdad.
Stepdad, that seems like a big stepdad thing, yeah.
Yeah. Someone who has access to a child's college fund, but has just enough distance where mom can step in and prevent that thing from being gambled away before Terry goes on a little bit of a bender and decides to double down on his at the ponies. Good stuff. Oh boy, gambling. What exactly is gambling? For folks at home who don't know what gambling is.
So glad you asked. From the Simple English Wikipedia.
All right.
Gambling is a contest where a player bets on the results of an event. The bet is generally in the form of money. The rules and the amount of money bet have to be decided on before the event happens. And
That's true.
Apparently, playing cards appeared in the 9th century AD in China, huh? Records trace gambling in Japan back to as far as at least the 14th century.
Yeah. Okay.
Poker's really originally a Persian game, and the first casino started operating in Venice, Italy in 1638. So,
poker in the rear. All right. Speaking of uncles.
Great. The sign in your uncle's garage when you walk in.
Yeah, gambling. So, Christian, what is your personal relationship to gambling?
I have been to a number of casinos.
Okay.
I have taken a fair share of losses during my time, and we have discussed just the two of us off mic before. Both of us could easily become super addicted to gambling. Just it would be one of those things where it's no question whatsoever. I would just go completely overboard, and that would be my new personality if given the chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Could easily see myself. I've tried. I've it's been a long time. Personally, casino wise, I've only ever been to a casino once. And it was my wife and I went as just like, well, let's go do it. There's a big one near our house.
Sure.
As you're aware of, there's a huge guitar out front, which is epic. And went there. It was like, hey, we got $100, or maybe it may even been like $50. We're like, let's see what we can do. And in there for about an hour and a half, I think, before it was gone.
That's pretty good, honestly, in the grand scheme of things. That's not bad.
We were just going, the fucking nickel slots and whatnot. But I will say this: I am way too intimidated to even play blackjack at a casino or anything like that. The idea of sitting down at a table and playing with people who know what they're doing, there's no way in hell I could do that.
I'm just imagining.
I would have to be hammered for me to even think about it.
I'm imagining your body language at the blackjack table. And the sort of like hand motions you'd be doing, and the guys would just be getting furious at you. Just so upset.
Just like, hit me. and I can just because there's like bad ways to play apparently.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It would never even occur. I always because I would play, you know, casual blackjack and whatnot with, back in the day with some friends or something like that, and it was never occurred to me that like you could play it wrong. If like to me, I was like, if you play it wrong, that's on you. Didn't affect other people. The fact that you can play wrong and then other people get upset about it, I'm like, wait, what? I'm the one losing here. Why are you upset? Oh, because I took your card? What? So I wouldn't even want to sit down and then ruin some degenerate's night by saying hit me and when I got 20 or whatever. I'm like, yeah, let's see if I get that ace, fellas, huh? Ooh, there it is. I guess, wow, I guess I won.
I just be like so aloof about it. Huh? Would you look at how?
Oh,
Just
look, there's that three you really, really wanted, huh? I guess I shouldn't have hit on that.
and the guys are just
Well,
like
see you later, guys.
yeah, they I think you're like a complete like hustler, and they just follow you out in the parking lot, beat you to death with a tire iron.
Yeah. Besides that, I remember probably like 10, 15 years ago, I got the idea of betting on football. And the problem with that is there's like there are websites to do it, but it's illegal in Florida, so you have to like do all this back deal Cayman Island bullshit or whatever to even like,
Really?
and so you have to like and this is a while ago. I'm sure it's different now, but you have to like you can't use a credit card. You have to use some weird fake system or whatever. And it's like I
You have
don't,
to
man.
buy credits to play. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this weird, and you're like, is this real? Is this? Will I get in trouble? And also, is this even worth the effort? And because I do remember actually doing it and for like 1 week back in like 2008 or something like that, and I feel like I actually won like $50, but didn't even know how to get it. So it's like, all right, well,
Let that be a
that's
lesson to
one money for
me.
someone.
Yeah, that's on me. That was
Yeah, it was
something.
like, oh, you need to get it. It was like, well, you need. I was like, what? I gotta like fax a form to some country I've never heard of that probably doesn't even exist anymore.
Gotta fax something to some sort of liberation army. I'm not sure what this
Yeah.
is.
So anyway, that's my gambling thing. Don't do a whole lot of it. I definitely see the appeal of it, big time. Because even just playing fantasy football, which I guess is some form of gambling,
Sure.
it can get very competitive. Uh, it doesn't feel quite as degenerate because it's hard to if you're putting down $100 for an entire season, it's hard to like keep stacking that up. It's not like well, they do
There's
have
a
those weekly fantasy things, which I'm guessing is pretty bad for some folks.
I
The
can only imagine.
DraftKings or whatever.
I can only
That
imagine that stuff
that's
gets.
probably bad.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Some of our listeners probably are aware of that and are indebted for that as well. So
undoubtedly, yeah. Hey, speaking of listeners that are have had their kneecaps busted out by various mobsters, what did Larry J, our
yes,
wonderful listener who chose gambling as a topic, say about choosing this topic?
sure. Yeah, Larry wrote in. I picked gambling because I used to spend a lot of time on a
Oh boy.
poker forum called 2+2, arguing with people. Gambling as an activity, and especially poker, also just seems to attract some of the biggest freaks and morons alive.
Yeah.
So I figured there'd be some good posts. I'm also
Mm-hmm.
hoping one of you can somehow find a post on the disgusting forum you love about somebody losing their adult diaper money at roulette.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know
Well,
if we have that.
I
I don't remember. I guess we'll find out together. I'm looking at the 2+2 form. Their banner, it's a two of diamonds, then it's plus a two of spades equals a four of hearts, and then the Ukraine flag is on the four of hearts. So good. Two
Yep.
plus two stands with Ukraine.
Yep.
He doesn't have house money. He has a freaking U.S. taxpayer money. I can tell you that much. Oof. Boy, do I have opinions about that thing. Anyway, how did Larry choose this topic?
Great. So Larry went over to reportthispost.com, where you can see all sorts of stuff about the show, but he chose to click on the buy topic button and went over and bought the topic of gambling over at the shop, where you can buy all sorts of stuff. I see some people have ordered some stuff recently. I saw a mug go out recently. I saw one of the pillows with our faces on it, which still not entirely sure why. We have sold a number of those though, but really disturbing that people would do that. That's where Larry went for his topic, but you can also get one over on Patreon.
Patreon.com/report this post. You join at the mod level for $10 a month. You stay there for 3 months, or admin level, $25 a month, and stick there for 2 months. You get to choose a topic. You also get the full episode of this show every week, plus an additional bonus episode, which folks more and more are saying is the better version of the podcast, because we read posts, but they're not just specific topics. They're about all sorts of stuff. Plus, you get to hear fun inside stories about our lives.
Fun's an interesting word.
I heard a real fun tale from Christian this last week's bonus episode about a certain animal of his that entered a certain kingdom of heaven. And you can go and listen to that fun tale. TAIL. For that.
Yeah, I get it. Yep.
Great stories over there. Patreon.com/report this post. What I think that's it, right?
Yes, I think that's it.
Cool. Well, why don't we go ahead and read some posts regarding the topic of gambling, which is the episode topic for episode 224 of Report This Post.
God almighty. Yeah, let's go ahead and start doing that. Reddit user Untalkative Bunny went to the subreddit Ask Me Anything to post. I'm a girl who just found out that my boyfriend lost all our savings on gambling. On New Year's Eve, my boyfriend started to cry and admitted everything. And 2 days later, I found out he lost $16,000. Oh, no. $16,000. Thank you. And now, until I get paid, I will struggle with everything from rent to train fare. I only have 45 minutes to answer questions as I'm in Starbucks waiting for a friend. Ask me anything.
Hey, you mentioned New Year's Eve. That was last night, according to when this episode drops, right? Happy New Year, everybody. So it's now 2023.
Are you sure?
Can you believe that? I'm looking at the calendar. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Sunday, January 1st, right?
No.
We're months away from that.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm right. First podcast of the new year, folks, huh?
Welcome to 2023. So this girl commented that Iron Guard responded, there must be some good penis you're getting. If a woman blows $16,000 of our money, that's basically death to the relationship.
Yeah.
The OP replied, he's the most wonderful man in the world. And to be brutally honest, I couldn't care less about the money. That's not why I'm with him. With our salaries together, we'll be sorted by the end of the month. And Aura of Mana responded, that the most wonderful man in the world who gambled away all of your money. I just don't understand women.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how their salaries combined, they're going to make up the $16,000 in a month.
I mean, that's like some people make that like in a year.
But it's like, okay, hey, you have good jobs, great. Why did you only have $16,000 in savings knowing that? And also, why is it this big of a deal if you guys are that fucking loaded? And but it's also not a big deal because you're like, hey, he's a wonderful man. It's not. I don't really care. It's whatever. It's like, what are you talking? What's happening here? What is this post? But also, until you get paid, you can't even get trained.
Go on the train, yeah.
What is going on? What? There's something missing here.
That is it. Are you underplaying the severity of the event? Is that part like
this is a pretty classic women to just be in several layers of denial.
Oh,
sure, shitty boyfriend.
He's the most wonderful man in the world. He stole money from me. He's going to make our life a living hell for a while, but God damn it, he is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So
16 grand. It's a solid chunk of change.
that's a nice used car. A nice used car.
I don't even make that in a month.
You're on the wrong
Until we get that
podcast.
Patreon juiced up, folks. Tell your friends, for the love of fucking Christ. I'm not going to do this shit forever. Hey, this one's from the subreddit r. Am I the asshole? I've been with my girlfriend for several years now. She has one child, a son who recently turned 18. He and I get along really well. But recently, he and I had our first blowout fight, and I'm wondering if I was wrong. What happened was that we were returning home from a summer trip. My girlfriend decided that we should stop at a casino near the border of our home state. We ended up getting a hotel room at the casino for a night. For a lot of it, my girlfriend's son and I just hung out. But eventually, we ended up joining his mom on the casino floor. I gave the boy $100 and told him that he should go and make me some money. Eventually, I met up with his mother, and he came up a little later to both of us with a cash waiver for about $1,100.
Nice.
He looked really proud of his earnings. I told him to turn his cash for another 100, but he responded, "No, I think I'll keep this." And I answered him, "No, you didn't earn that." And I took the money and explained that all the winnings between us were communal. So I gave him another $100. I think he had no claim to his gambling winnings in the first place since it came from my money. My girlfriend is actually with me on this, but her son is really mad at me right now. Probably the angriest he has ever been, feeling like I stole his winnings, and it's had me thinking that maybe I'm in the wrong. Basically, everyone in the thread called this guy an asshole. Probably because he stole $1,000 from his girlfriend's son.
What an absolute shithead. Just like,
who doesn't seem to mind, by the way, which I find to be very interesting. The girlfriend is like, yeah, well, he's got a point.
well, you know, he does scare me a lot, so I am just going to go ahead and agree with him.
Another classic awful woman thing to do is to just stand by your man no matter how clearly deliberately wrong he is about something.
God damn. Yeah, just to think that, you know, and that's, I mean, it's literally a kid. He's a kid. This is his first experience with like doing something of that nature. And then just to be like, actually, that's still my money. So you're just going to go ahead and give that to me.
I'm actually going to take that money. And you can have $100.
The $100 that I originally gave you can go ahead and keep that. Turd.
What an absolute shithead.
Yeah, that's a big shithead move. That I'm sure that will bode well for the rest of their relationship as a loving stepson and stepfather.
I'm sure, and this guy is number 12 on the list of shitty mom's boyfriends he's had to deal with. And at one he was like, you know, it's actually starting to work out pretty well with this guy. And then, nope, he's actually also an asshole. Brutal.
Again, going to the internet to ask opinions on stuff like this, not good. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. Very just curious what the mom's reasoning is. I'm guessing it's just because she wanted the money, and she's
probably, yeah. She's
just
probably a shithead too. So
I would guess that's very possible.
You know, they do attract that those, you know.
Yeah, taking your teenage kid to a casino is another good sign. Parents and kids in casinos seems not like a great idea.
You never got taken to the casino? No?
No. Definitely not.
His dad drives there. He's like, all right, wait in the car for me, and then you can drive me home.
Closest thing I have to that is I walked home from high school once, and I saw this very seedy bar, and I saw my dad's truck outside of it, and I peeked inside, and there he was, hammering out of his mind. So that's one of those charming stories I have from my youth. And speaking of parents, I think we have another post. And while you read this, I will go sob hysterically in the corner.
Yeah, here's a news story out of Buffalo, New York. The mother of a cancer-stricken young man had her own idea of how to spend the $15,000 in benefit money raised to help him fight his illness. She gambled it away.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry R. Holcomb, 46 of Cortland, pleaded guilty Wednesday in state Supreme Court to a felony count of scheme to defraud. She opened a bank account and deposited the money raised at a benefit and even funds sent with get well cards for Ryan O'Donnell, her 21-year-old son.
Mm.
Then she used ATM cards to withdraw the money to finance her gambling at casinos across the Northeast, prosecutors said. I've spent money at the Seneca Niagara Casino, Buffalo Creek Casino, Turning Stone Casino, Casino Niagara, Mohegan Sun Casino in the Poconos, Harrah's Casino in New Jersey, she wrote in her confession. I'm not sure of how much of Ryan's money I've gambled away, but it's virtually all gone, she said. I know it was wrong to spend his money, and I'm sorry for doing it, she said in the confession. I'm ashamed of myself. O'Donnell, her son, has leukemia, and he continues to be treated in Roswell Park Cancer Institute.
Cool. Yeah. That's tough. Just it's big. There's a big problem with a lot of these posts. As I'm looking further down the document, I'm seeing an even more consistent theme here. God damn! Imagine you're 21.
Mm-hmm.
You have cancer, but somehow there's some wonderful people online willing to help you fight it. And then mom goes on a fucking road trip to fund her addiction, which is truly remarkable. I can understand if it's just, you know, one night bender kind of thing, it's like, well, that's awful, but you get on a roll. But if you're like traveling from city to city, state to state, several states you went to,
the tri-state trip.
You're crossing state lines for this. It's really more than just a tough night. Jesus. Anyway, I know I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, she said she's
Gonna be a very awkward funeral for her son. Oh boy.
Who's paying for that though? Not her.
Well, hopefully the blackjack table at the Turning Stone Casino will fund that one when Mama doubles down to get it back.
This is for you, Ryan.
My son's. I don't like pine box. I gotta see if I can upgrade to oak. Oh no, nothing. Now he's gonna get tossed in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, this one's from the subreddit r problem gambling, which is, I'm sure, about what you folks can imagine. I'm 28, got kicked out by father with the police, and I have $500 left. This is now day 3 of sleeping in my car. I will go to the casino tomorrow and use $400 and need to double up so I can pay a deposit in an apartment I'm looking at. Whew. Beautiful Cry 3366 said, dude, why the fuck are you still gambling while you only have $500? Just don't step in the casino. Go find a job instead, please. What if you lose the 400? And the OP responded, well, I'll have $100 left, enough to try and recoup my losses on stake.com. So please thought this through. Stake.com appears to be it's the leading crypto casino online. So.
Oh man, that's really stinky. Yeah. Man, 28 and you're already freaking.
Yeah,
that is tough. Mm-hmm. That's tough. That's you don't want to see that for anybody, really.
Well, the OP has started some other threads over the years on Reddit. Here's some of them. How did you find your life purpose? Oh. How do you cope with regret? And what makes you want to be alive tomorrow? So, and plenty more along those lines.
Good God Almighty! All right.
Yeah, that's great. Hopefully
What
Hopefully, Larry
makes
J is not one of these kind of guys.
what makes you want to be alive tomorrow? Yeah, I didn't even take. I
Tough
didn't
answer
even.
to that one.
I can't even. I didn't even consider the whole joint crypto slash gamble, like
Sure.
the double dipping sort of thing on that. Oh,
Seems like a perfect marriage, huh? I mean, crypto isn't crypto itself just a form of gambling? Now you have using crypto money to gamble on sports and such.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's kind of it all kind of
When I
all
go to
overlaps.
stake.com, it says it's not available in the United States.
That's not a good sign.
You are welcome to sign up for our social casino stake.us. I don't know what the hell that means. That just means like a non-money casino. Sweet. That sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, good luck to that fella. Hopefully his plan works, and I'm sure he's rich out of his mind now.
And I'm sure he's still alive. Great. Ricky O posted this 1-star review of the Bellagio Casino to TripAdvisor.
Okay.
In anticipation for my Vegas trip, I started playing games online for fun. No money. I then got bored and started putting money on my credit card. In a matter of half a day, I lost $300 and didn't even leave my living room. It has been very depressing. Has anyone gone through this? I spent a good portion of my Vegas budget in the one day before the trip even begins. A guy named Blake
Okay.
C commented, "You have a severe problem, and Vegas is waiting to teach you a hard lesson that you will never forget. My guess is it will ruin you. God bless."
Whew. Interesting 1-star review. I'm not really sure.
Seeing as how he didn't even make it to the casino before leaving that review,
It has nothing to do with the casino. He's asking a pretty general Vegas question. I have a question about Vegas. Well, let me leave it in this 1-star review for this casino in Vegas I've never been to.
yeah, hey, I'm getting
Uh,
absolutely demolished on the tables on the online casino. Do you think I'm ready for the real thing?
uh, Seems like a real bad idea that you can just bet with credit card money.
Oh,
With
boy,
that's horrific.
that's really that's not a good. That's
That's I don't even think that's legal, is it? That seems
I
very bad. That seems like an extremely problematic idea.
I mean, freaking what you can't use a debit card at a car rental place because you have to have a credit card. Like I don't know if there's some sort of overlap there, but man, it just seems like something. Yeah, you should not be able to do.
Yeah, because you can just get like, hey, here's a credit card for $50,000 limit. Like you don't even have to do anything. And then it's like, oh, I guess I'll just put $50,000 on black.
Just a guy that just bet. There's just bets. He's just
Just instantly day one is like, oh well, I guess I got to start looking into bankruptcy. The fucking envelope for the credit card's still on the kitchen counter, and he's like has to get a lawyer for his bankruptcy case. It's like, huh? Really didn't think this one through.
yeah. Vegas really ruined me. I didn't even make it there. Actually, I didn't even, honestly didn't even walk the strip.
Yeah, just got back from the mailbox. Brutal.
Well, you know what they say. What happens with the intent of going to Vegas ruins you for the rest of your life.
Well, God bless, as Blake C said. Speaking of
That's like
God,
such a backhanded thing. Like, oh, good luck with all that.
I mean, the guy's not wrong. Speaking of God, this is from the subreddit, our gambling addiction. Another great subreddit over there. God is the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, God has healed me from this sickness. The very first time since the beginning, I never thought of gambling, no urges at all. I sleep very good. The day before paycheck every Friday, I won't sleep and wait for the money to drop on Friday morning, then withdraw everything and gamble it. This has gone on since March. I surrendered my life to Christ and said I will never return back to any addiction that has been hunting me. I got texted. I had planned what I will use my pay by paying some debt and some other stuff, and boom, I dropped my phone. Don't know how it happened. Now I had to fist my phone because it is important. So I had to drop one very important thing I needed to sort out. Before I would have said, let me gamble, maybe I can win and sort both out. I have started watching Miles Monroe, Powerful Man of God, about taking control of your mind. I beseech anyone here to watch it.
Jesus. Lots of words being used in this post.
Beseech was unexpected from that nonsense. Ga567 said, that's great news. I'm happy for you. Don't know a good one. 77 said, God bless, bro. God is capable of anything. But the lowest rated comment was from user Nisu, who said, God bets red, I think. So some people just can't get away from the... Look, he's just saying, if you next time you go to the roulette, you should bet red. So not that obviously if you have a problem, you shouldn't, but
I just like how the guy's like, yeah, God intervened in my life because I dropped my phone and the money that I was going to gamble, I had to use to fix it.
That's one way of doing it, huh?
God was really looking out for me there.
All right, we're going to stop right here because we're going to finish the rest of this episode over on patreon.com/reportthispost. That's right. If you enjoyed this first 20-ish to 30-ish minutes of the episode, you'll be happy to know that there's about an hour extra of this one over there on patreon.com/reportthispost. Head over there. And all you got to do is subscribe for $5 a month. You'll get every single full episode with dozens of more posts a month, plus an additional bonus episode every single week. Unbelievable. This is literally millions of posts that we read on the air every single month, possibly billions. I have not counted. In fact, I can't count. I'm actually illiterate as well. But irregardless, patreon.com/reportthispost, and we'll see you over there, and God bless.